Hi guys, I'm very excited to be showing you the Valentine collection today. Hopefully this will be enough in advance for you guys to pick up your Valentine's foil to go with all the kits that have come out. So I did foil this in light pink to match the mock spread that I'm going to be doing. However, this is a very tricky foil to work with, so any imperfections that you may see in these sheets are just for these demo sheets and will not be on the final product as usual. So just kind of ignore any of that, especially like dirty foiling that you can kind of see here. It's a little tricky to work with, but I have figured it out. So some of these will be better looking than others. But yeah, this is the first full collection that I've done since the Christmas collection, and it's the official beginning of the regular weekly release schedule. Since last week I only did, I only did a few extra sheets for the basics collection, but it actually turned out to be quite a lot of sheets, but that wasn't like a whole collection on its own. So this will be the first one for the new year, and we'll kick off the regular schedule. However, the format of this one is very similar to the Christmas one. It's like it very closely follows it in a lot of ways, but I really do love this format, and I think I'll probably stick to this primarily going forward until I decide to reformat some things or add additional sheets, which I do like to do as well. And I will get to some specific notes as we get to those sheets later. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into it. We will first start off with the underlays as usual. So we do have the large pattern, which is the most full cover pattern. So you can see all of the little clip art elements in there. And this is the best underlay pattern if you have really busy day by day and you like to use a lot of boxes. So this way, even if you do use a lot, you can still see some of the clipper elements peeking through behind them. So we have that, and then we do have the more sparse medium underlays as well, which is the same kind of elements but more sparsely scattered. And then for the fun ones, we have this sweater pattern, which is, I don't really know that it's a sweater pattern, but that's just what I'm calling it. But it's this really cute kind of fabric-y looking pattern. We got the stitching and then the little hearts and then the big hearts in between them. So I really like this little dainty pattern. I really like patterns that look like fabrics now. That's like my thing. And then we just have the hearts, which is just like only the hearts scattered throughout. We have the solid and the outlined hearts, and they are also really tiny. So if you want like a more full cover option, you can choose between the large or the hearts. It is important to note that I do have 2 heart patterns already in my basics collection under the underlays listing, which is just like generic underlays. I did put a couple hearts ones in there a while back. They aren't like as fun as these. They're more basic, but if you want something just like more standard, like basically, you know, heart confetti instead of just like the regular confetti dots, then you can always check that out as well. But these are the 4 that are included in this collection. So next we'll go into the confetti full box overlays, starting off with the full confetti overlays, which again, the sizing of everything and the arrangement mirrors the Christmas collection very closely. So we just have elements in all 4 corners. We've got the rose, the lips, which are the same lips as from the Barbie collection, which is actually the doll collection in my shop. You know, once you find a good icon, you just gotta keep reusing it. And then we have a little XO, kisses, hugs, and then we got some hearts down there. And then this has confetti around all 4 sides as well as the 4 corners. And then we have the medium, which has only the 4 corners, but it is the same size and same icons. So there's a little comparison. Then the medium also comes in 3 corners, which is great if you have clip art in one of the corners of a box, of a full box that you don't want to cover up. That's when these come in handy. So we have each of the corners missing depending on what you need. And then we have the 2 corner as well, which has our regular slant ones. And then we have just the bottom 2 and the top 2. These are great for fashion boxes. And then we have the small confetti size, which is just the same design as the medium, just shrunk down a little bit. Here's a little comparison of the sizing. It's shrunk down just a little bit, but if you want something more subtle, then this is going to be the option for you. So as usual, we have the 4 corners, and then the 3 corners, and then the 2 corners. So plenty of confetti full box overlay options for you. And then as usual, we do have the tall box overlays as well. So these are the 2 most standard sizes of tall boxes. We have the Glam Planner size right here. And then we have Scroll Prints Co., Crest Press, Apple Blossom Prints. I haven't tested this with Pink Diamond Planner Co., but probably one of these is going to work with Pink Diamond Planner Co. as well. Basically just whatever you need or whatever you have, this sheet will work for that. And then we have 2 flag overlays on this as well. And I have started doing something fun with these, which is where instead of just having the corners, I do add some extra confetti along the bottom and top. I mean, it would be kind of a bit much to do it along the sides. I don't know, let me know if you want to see that. But I just thought the extra confetti on the bottom and top would be fun. And then, of course, we have the big box option as well, which comes in 2 sizes with only a few millimeters difference between the 2. So this is the Glam Planner size, which is the larger one. It's called Tall in the shop. And then there's a shorter one, which works for paper candy art. This size I also recommend for Apple Blossom Prints. However, there are more big boxes out there, especially in printable kits now, which I know because I do purchase a lot of printable kits as well. And I cannot guarantee that these will work with those. I don't think these work with the Pink Planner Shop ones, at least the one that I had. I think it was a little bit too big. But let me know if you use Pink Planner Shop and you want that option as well. You could always trim it if you want to do that. And then we have some flag overlays along the bottom as well. I actually am using a Pink Planner Shop printable kit, so but I didn't print the big box. I did print the tall box though, and I haven't tested my tall box overlays with that, so we'll have to see. And then we have the full box overlays, which I tend to do a lot of borders for these. Well, it just depends on what clip art I have to work with. Usually I just go with whatever speaks to me, and these designs really spoke to me for this collection. So we have just the little heart dangles for this one. We have a border with just the lip print on that one. We have a little XOXO border, which I just love that one. And then I also love this one. I love doing the border with the like pattern around the edges. I've been doing a lot of those, as you can tell from last week's release, the Basics Collection editions. But I just did the kind of sweater underlay pattern behind that. So we have that. I really love that sheet. And then we have the double box overlays, which we have just the classic confetti one at the top. And then for the fun one, I just kind of did a bit of a celebratory theme. I wasn't too sure what to do, but I really like the idea of doing the string lights from the Christmas collection, but putting little hearts in there, which I've discovered that it's actually really hard to tell that they are hearts just looking at it. So just know that they are hearts. I mean, they're really small, so it's hard to tell, but that's what they are. And then the heart balloons, which actually are from the Carnival collection. So definitely reusing a lot of good clip art, because, like, you know, why bother finding a new heart balloon when that one is just so cute? And then there's a few tiny scattered hearts as well. So this can be used for like indoor, like Valentine party kind of celebratory scenes, or like outdoor, you know, eating on a patio with string lights, which actually I have been hoarding a Scroll Prints Co. kit that like has string lights in it. That's a Valentine's Day kit for the longest time. I actually only own 2 Valentine's Day kits right now, I think, and that's one of them. So I feel like this might work for that. I need to get more Valentine's Day kits. Okay, and then we have the quote boxes, which we have Love is in the Air with the little lip prints, Happy Valentine's Day, just love with the heart, and then Be Mine with the rose. So you have 2 that have the confetti border, which is like if you have a patterned full box that you just want to just completely cover with foil because it's just the pattern behind it, then these are the options for that. But if you're putting it over a box that has a lot of clip art, then we have 2 options for that. And then I did do a poll on Instagram asking you guys whether you wanted to have just the quote boxes, just the quote samplers, or always offer both options. And you guys did vote pretty much evenly for, I think it was like quote sampler and then both. So I just decided that's enough people who clearly doesn't want the quote sampler. But like enough people still wanted the quote boxes that I couldn't quite get rid of it. So I am going to try to offer both whenever I can, whenever it makes sense. Because there are some collections where I'm just not going to have that many quotes. And I'm kind of debating whether I just want to put it on a 6th sheet, which is this size instead of a full sheet when I don't have that many quotes to work with, or just not offering it. So we'll see. But thankfully for Valentine's Day, I did have enough quote options to be able to just come up with more for a sampler. So all these quotes are on this quote sampler, but there are more. So it just depends on what you want. So we have, let's see, we have just I love you, and then we have love you more, which is a really cute thing that I feel like a lot of couples say. I say that with my boyfriend a lot. And then a lot of people in the planner community, like, it's funny because I've only ever heard people like have this ideology in the planner community, but like there's a lot of people who just love like the concept of it, and they just love seeing other people in love and everything. So we have I love, and then we have will you be my Valentine, and then we have just the spelling out of love, which you can fit like along the bottom of a full box, was kind of the idea for that. Usually I do like a vertical one. I'm surprised I didn't do a vertical one. But you can also put it like along the side if you want, and you can like cut the letters apart and do it really however you want. And then we just have the love is in the air, and then the be mine, and then the happy Valentine's Day and love from the quote box sheet. And then for this love with the heart, I just kind of spread that out as well, similar to that one, but it just have the heart. And then I already said the I love you one, so there we go. But I realized there's probably a lot more quotes I could do. Give me ideas, because like next year I'm probably going to add on more quotes. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to come up with like Valentine's Day quotes. Like there's a lot of like things that you would put on a card, but like that you wouldn't necessarily put on a planner spread, you know? So let me know if you want to see anything. And then my favorite sheet is Dangles and Swoops reformatted, which has daintier dangles than like the original format, and the swoops is really just garland arrangements that are already pre-made, and I cannot get enough of these. I use some of the dangles, but I'm just obsessed with the pre-made arrangements, and I am going to do a ton more. So this is the sheet that has gotten reformatted a lot and will continue to get reformatted a lot. So originally I started off with both dangles on one sheet and then swoops on a whole nother sheet, and it was just a ton of both. And then I combined them both onto one sheet and just did fewer of each. And now I feel like I like where this is at, but at the same time, I feel like I want more options for the pre-made arrangements. And I already have like more kind of arrangements that I want to do. But like, I just want to have more options or like more of each one, especially more of the like smaller ones that can go anywhere. So I am probably going to keep some of these on this sheet and just like do more of some that are on here. And then I might do like an 8th sheet or a 6th sheet of like just like more of the smaller ones maybe. I don't know. I'm going to probably experiment with that. But this is like my favorite sheet obviously now. So I'm trying to simplify it and do like only 2 or 3 kind of like icons on this sheet, because otherwise it just gets way too insane. I used to do like 5 different ones, and that was just too much. So we are keeping it simple. So here we have just the lips, and then we have the heart, and then the little XO, and then that kind of repeats. So we have longer ones and then more medium ones at the top. You can trim these to whatever size you want. Some like this one have the little heart somewhere in there as well. And then we have the teeny tiny ones, which are so dainty and can go anywhere. You can fit them in like half boxes, third boxes. If you want ideas on this, then definitely have a look at my plan with me for the Christmas week that I just did. I hope that's going to be uploaded by this point. But But yeah, I just went crazy with this whole sheet and also the corners, and I use those everywhere. And so that's kind of like, you can really take this sheet far. And then I also have the itty bitty swoops there, which I used to have a lot more of those, and I feel like I should start adding more back, but there's only 5 total now, but those can definitely go literally anywhere. And then here are the arrangements. We have some that go across the whole width, 1.5 inches. These are just the dangles. No, not the dangles. These are just the swoops. And then these are swoop plus dangle arrangements. And then here we have just some swoops for the corners. And then we have just a little corner dangle and swoop arrangement. And half of these have the little hearts as the icon, and then half have the lips, which is pretty hard to see when it's that small, but just know that that's what they are. I think it's kind of a little more obvious with that big one right there. But yeah, obsessed with that, obsessed with just the little corner ones. But yeah, so that's my favorite sheet. And then let's go into the little itty bitty sheets. So as usual, we have our hole reinforcers. There are 18 on this sheet. I think you only need 12 for a spread, so you do get some extras just to have fun with. If you want to use these for 2 spreads, obviously you'll need to get 2 of these. And then for the headers, we have our confetti. As always, there are 11 headers on these sheets, so you technically only need to pick up 2 of these. But if you do want all 3, you can just purchase all 3. There is an easy, like, buy all 3 option in the shop. So we have our little dainty confetti. So tiny. And then I really liked the XO pattern, which is really just a font that I used. But I really just wanted to use that everywhere. I was actually going to do an underlay pattern of this too, but like for some reason I forgot and then just did 2 extras, which I really like the 2 that I did. But I think next year I'll do the little XOXO for the underlays too. So we have that. And then we have just hearts, of course. Just little scattered hearts. So that is the headers. And then let's go into the 6 sheets. So we have the dividers. Now these you will recognize from the like new basics collection dividers sheet. I did just pull them onto this one because they are hearts, so it like makes sense. And then we have the dainty ones, which are the little hearts with confetti dots. And then I did bring in the XOXO for the dividers sheet as well, but I made it really tiny, so it's nice and subtle. You can just fit that anywhere, and it's like basically the height of a line almost, so really nice and subtle. And then you just have the basic line ones, which I do like to use these more than I thought I would. But yeah, we have the lips, the XO, and then the heart. And then it's mirrored on the side, except for the XO one is not mirrored, and then this one obviously is not mirrored either. Like I learned from my previous mistakes, because in previous collections I would just mirror stuff without like actually thinking about whether it made sense, but I'm learning. So we have that. They have the corners sheet, which has a slight reformat. We do still have just the plain confetti corners. In the medium size here, we have 2 sets of the medium confetti corners, and then we have the small confetti corners down there. And then I do make brand new ones just for this sheet that are like really tiny and dainty confetti that can fit over half boxes too. Because like if you saw that Christmas spread, I went ham with the corners. I like literally used every single corner on that sheet except one. Because I don't know, I'm so glad for whoever suggested making a corners sheet, because like that was something like that I feel like a lot of us OG planners would use. Like Soul Prince Co. had her like photo corner sheets, and I feel like we all use that. But then I felt like it fell out of favor, and I like wasn't into it. I felt like it was just too hard, and I was just using full box overlays. And then somebody suggested that I bring it back, and now it's like I don't use these over full boxes, but I use them like everywhere else. So thank you to whoever, like it was probably a few of you who suggested that, but like the sheet is like also like one of my top favorite sheets now. So you have the dainty ones, 2 sets of those. And then this you will also recognize from the basics collection. One of the photo corners sheets that I did basically just has these little line ones. So I did take that line and then I added a little icon from the collection, which I'm excited to use these too. I didn't do these for the Christmas collection, which I'm like kind of sad about, because I know I would have gone crazy with these too, but I am going to go crazy whenever I use this. And But yeah, these simple little dainty ones that can fit over half boxes, third boxes, literally anywhere that has a 90-degree angle. So cute. So we have hearts up here, and then we have the X and the O. I love that little X and the O and just the corners, and then the lips, and then the hearts again. So that's the little corners sheet. And then we have the Deco Sheets, which also are my favorite sheets. We have just the plain Deco sheet first. So we have some bigger ones along the bottom. We have more medium size, and then we have the tiny. And then we have the tiny confetti, which I need to make this even tinier, actually. Those are a good size, but I feel like in previous collections these have been a little bit too big, so I need to shrink them down just a little more, because right now they're the same size as this, but confetti clusters I feel like need to be really tiny to be effective, so I'm going to shrink those down in future collections, but at least we have these. And then the actual teeny tiny row I actually did the right size for once, so we have the little teeny tiny hearts, and then the XO, and then the lips. So these are going to be great to scatter everywhere. And then we have the hanging Deco sheet, which was introduced in the Christmas collection. I don't know how often I'm going to do this, because it's basically just like Dangles version 2, because it's just a line instead of dots for the dangle part, but I don't know, they're fun. It's fun to mix and match both, so we'll see when I get inspired to add these. But we do have the hanging hearts for the Valentine collection as well. So instead of 3 different versions, we have 4, because it's basically the same ones that are on the bottom washi, which you'll see in a second. But we have the 2 outlines and then the 2 filled in, and then some of those are mirrored, and that's the tall one. Then we have the medium row and then the tiny row, and obviously you can cut these to whatever size you want, to whatever length you want rather. These are a little bit smaller, like the actual hearts are a little bit smaller than in these 2 rows though, for the tiny row. So there you go. Those are both in the in the Deco listing. Now let's get into the bottom washi. So I'm trying to like keep it simple with the amount of bottom washis I do too, but also it's kind of getting hard. I also feel like I'm just not putting my mind to it really to get too creative, but like how many options do you need really? So I feel like it's a good amount. So we just have the most basic one, which is just the hearts, and then we have some heart clusters, which I feel like I should have done on the Deco sheet, and I didn't do, but here they are on this sheet. So just the basic hearts, and then like I said, you do get the hanging hearts on this one too, similar to the Christmas collection where you have the hanging ornaments as a bottom washi as well. Now you get the hanging hearts, and then those will be really cute together. And then we do have the XOXO again, which I like to do this where like there's one thing that I'll take, one element that I'll take and just kind of put it everywhere. So like if you want to focus on that element, you can get all headers with the XOXO. You got your dividers with this pattern, you got the bottom washi, and then usually you would also have the underlays, but again, forgot about it, so next year. But or unless you request me to like do it now just as like a separate listing, I can do that. But I try not to disrupt my pattern of doing 4 underlays per collection, because like just all my formatting in my shop like is like focused on having only 4. So if I did any other number, it would kind of mess with that. But yeah, that's kind of the idea for this. So we have our XOXO, and then we have the confetti as usual, and then the flags over here. I actually did some comparison. So I have 2 sizes of flag overlays, and one of them is for like SPC. I don't know what, like I think it's an older format is the sizing that I use, but it might still be her. I don't know if she got rid of her flags or not. I have no idea. But it was size for SPC, and then another size was size for Glam Planner, which I think she still has hers in her new format. But the only difference between those is that like one of them is like a millimeter longer, I think. I don't know. For some reason that didn't occur to me at the beginning that like literally they're pretty much the exact same flag overlay. So this will work with both. But yeah, you have that. Technically these are cut for the SPC size. These ones are cut for the Glam Planner size. These 2 flags, because this is like the Glam Planner sheet, or at least it was, and I'll explain that in a second. But this is the 10mm and 7mm washi. So if you have a Glam Planner kit or any other kit that uses this bottom washi style, then this will work for that. You can grab these and just grab one of the 15s, and then you're good to go. As per usual, I do the like header confetti pattern for the top row, and then I do something like completely unique for the 10mm, because that way you can match it with any one of the 15s and it'll be fine. So we do have the lips If you do want the lips pattern in a 15 millimeter, I do have that in the doll collection, so you can still technically pick that up. But I didn't want to like gyp you on an option for this collection of the 15 millimeters. So yeah, lips and hearts. And the reason I say that this like used to be like just the glam planner sheet was because that was before I realized that there are other shops who do this. At least one that I know of, which is Planet Fancy. She also does the 7, 10, and 15 millimeter bottom washi formats, and these do work over that. The flags don't, because her flags are a different shape and size. Well, technically you can use the flag overlays with any flag. I just like trim it or just leave it, whatever you want to do. But these sizes will work with that. So there you go. And then for the 32 millimeter, I brought back the train. I did. One of my YouTube followers, I think she might also be following me on Instagram now, Clarissa, suggested that I do trains for all occasions, trains for every season. And I was like, this is the best thing I could possibly imagine. Thank you so much for that suggestion. So we like brainstormed and we came up with like literally like 10 different options for like trains. And like, y'all know I love trains. Like, I don't need an excuse to bring a train into a collection, but like that just gave me so many ideas. And like, I won't always do this. Like, if I can think of another thing to do for a 32 millimeter, I will. But like, I was just stumped on this one. I was really stumped. And then I was like, why not just do the train? Because, you know, she suggested it. So why not just do that? And so I did that. And I was able to bring in a lot more elements that are not found elsewhere in the collection just to kind of bulk out the train aspect. So I just took that Christmas train and kind of redid it for Valentine's Day. Some elements I left alone. Not that many. I think it's just that little car that I mostly left alone, but I did add the little hearts in there. Everything else has been modified. Yeah. And I did take the smoke and I erased it and I put little hearts for the smoke, which is so cute. So cute. So as usual, there's one option for the left side and then 2 for the right, depending on whether you want the beacon banner or not. This is probably going to disappear. This whole thing is going to disappear. The sheet's going to be cut down, most likely. Let me know if you really want this option or the sheet to remain the same, but honestly I think I'm just wasting paper at this point, so we're gonna cut it down. And also because this is just like, you know, 3 times the chance for an oops now, because like the more foil you have on one sheet, like if there's a tiny dot up there, boom, sheet's gone. So yeah, it's more of a risk, so that's probably gonna disappear. But we do have the full train for the right and then just the shortened train for the right as well. So we have the front of the train. We have some roses, chocolate covered strawberries. We have presents because, you know, presents for Valentine's Day. We have just a giant heart there. We have this little part of the train, which I think is usually the caboose, I don't know. And then I did just add some hearts there. It had like Christmas lights before and I just kind of got rid of those and then just put hearts. And then this one is like the candy one. I did leave that candy the same, but then I also added like Valentine's candy, which is like the box of chocolates and then just a chocolate bar. And then we have the Cupid's arrow. This one is just full of like random hearts. And then that one is just the XO. This one is heart-shaped flowers, which is super cute. So we have 2 of flowers. And then I did bring the little heart bear from the Carnival collection as well in that balloon. Actually, was the balloon? No, I think the balloon was from the birthday collection. Yeah, pretty sure the balloon was the birthday collection and that bear is from the Carnival collection. So, and because he had a little heart in his belly and I was like, he's perfect. And you know, bears with hearts on them, like that's also a Valentine's Day gift. So him holding the balloon, super cute. So we have that for the train, and then I do put deco on the sheet that you can't find anywhere else in the collection just because it's fun. So we have the chocolate covered strawberries deco and then 2 heart balloons facing different directions as deco. So love this. I'm obsessed with this. I'm going to be using this one in the mock spread, so you will see that in a second. And then we have the bundle. So the bundle, as usual, it comes in mini and ultimate sizes. The mini does not have underlays, and then the ultimate, you can choose whatever underlays you want from the ones that are available in the collection. A lot of people also just get the mini one with no underlays, and then they get different underlays from elsewhere in my shop, or just pair with ones that you have already. So that is an option for you. You can also get this unfoiled if you want to foil it yourself, or any foil color out of the 46 that I have. You can also get this printable and just go crazy with it. So literally any option that you could want for this bundle. So we are starting with the full box overlays. On the first page, we have 2 full confetti full box overlays, 2 medium 4 corner, 2 medium 2 corner, the slant ones, and then the just plain confetti double box scene overlay. That's page 1. 2 pages of underlays. Again, just pick whatever ones you want. This is the large. And then page 3 has full set of header overlays. I usually do all 3 designs on here because that's pretty standard. That's what I like. You can pretty cheaply pick up additional ones of any one of these designs if you do want to only stick with like 1 or 2 designs. And then I do usually include both deco sheets. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do for the top when I don't have this deco sheet as part of a collection, just the hanging ones. I may just do the dividers on the sheet. Let me know if you have ideas for what you want there. But for now, we do have both. And then page 4 has the bottom washi, so I just choose the most basic one typically, and then the confetti always goes down here. Weekend banner, date dots, lots of tiny little deco, simple line dividers, and then some dotted dividers. And then the optional add-on sheet can be added onto both the mini and the ultimate. You do get 2 extra underlays. These are set, so like they'll either match or complement whatever ones you pick up with the bundle. But this is the hearts, and then we have 2 medium 3 corner. And then we have, I usually pick 2 from the full box overlay sheet and then 2 from the quotes. So we have the XOXO border and then the lips border. And then down here, I usually pick one that has the confetti around it and then one that doesn't, depending on what full box you're going to cover up. So whichever box you want to put a quote on, you're going to have an option for that. So we just have Happy Valentine's Day and Love Is in the Air. So that is the bundle. And let's see, for the mock spread, I'm going to be using this printable kit from Pink Planner Shop, and this artist is Kittenish Jess, of course. We all know her and love her. This is an older Valentine's Day set that she did, but it's still super cute, and I didn't pick it up like when it actually originally came out, but I really wanted to use it this time as kind of a tribute to her, and it's just so darn cute. Like, look at this box with the little cat and dog with the hearts. I love it. So I just really needed to use this, and it kind of like screamed use me when I was looking for mock kits for mock spreads. So I needed this one. My printer was running out of ink at some point, so you'll kind of notice a little bit of striations, but mostly it's not that noticeable, so it's fine, and it's for a mock spread anyway. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lay down the foil over this, and then I'm going to come back and explain everything and what it looks like all laid down. So let's get into it. Okay, so here is the finished mock spread. Another beautiful one, if I do say so myself. I love this train at the bottom. And as usual, I did the little dangles in the corners. There's the hanging hearts. Same thing on the other side, pretty much, except there I didn't want to do the whole swoop arrangement because of that balloon, so I just did a couple dangles. And let's see, so we have the underlays. As you can see, I always leave one of each uncovered so you can see how it looks laid down, and then I always do some that are covered up as well. So there's a medium uncovered, and then there it is, covered. And there's the large covered and uncovered. We have the hearts uncovered and then covered. That's a great pattern. And then the sweater uncovered and then covered over here. There's the sweater border overlay as well. So we have that border, we have the confetti full version. And then we have the XOXO border. This one is the lips border. We have another full. This is the double box scene. I did add some extra heart dangles in there. This is the Happy Valentine's Day quote overlay. And I did add another swoop and dangle arrangement. We have the full medium 4-corner, medium 4-corner, and then this is the tall box overlay, the taller one, which does fit perfectly. And then I jazzed that up with a one from the quote sampler, and then another little heart deco piece. As you can see, I used a lot of the tiny deco in this balloon along the top as well. And for the dividers, we have the heart divider, and then 2 of the line dividers. The third one is right there. And we have the teeny tiny XOXO divider there, and then the dainty dot divider is right there. You can see some of the larger deco pieces in the boxes as well. We have some being used just as like icons, and then the tiny ones being used to jazz up the clip art pieces, as I like to do. And I did include some dangles and swoop arrangements in the actual boxes as well, because that's like my favorite thing. We have a photo corner down there, and then I did include some corners there and there as well. Got some of the longer dangles right there. That's the teeny tiny swoop. You can also see the header overlays. We have the confetti, the XOXO, and then the hearts. And I think that is just about it. I did forget to put like an actual header there, so I'll have to do that later. And also the flag overlays there, as you can see. These are sized for the smaller SPC flags. However, I have a lot of the large ones. I do have the large flag overlays in my shop, just in the basics collection as normal confetti. So those do exist if you are looking for them. I saved mine from previous kits, so I have like a whole bunch that I use for these purposes, mock spread purposes. And I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I may have missed pointing out, but I don't think so. I think that's it. Oh yeah, this is the Love is in the Air quote overlay as well, which just seemed like it would work with that box really well. And yeah, so I love how this turned out. I think it was a great color to match, and everything just looks so gorgeous and dainty. So I hope you guys like this collection as much as I do. Next week will be the gamer collection, long awaited, based off of the video game kits, not so much the board game kits, but I might do a full box exclusive, not full box, foil bundle exclusive kit for that. At some point we'll see if I can squeeze that in, but in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you want to like, comment, subscribe, and share, that would be amazing, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao ciao.